instructions na naibigay ko sa inyo last time for subject computer engineering as a discipline. So we'll be using the 4th edition for the time being, but the 5th is already available, I think. You can see on the Zay library for the updates if you have your internet connection. So like what I've said, we have reading assignment in part 1. So introduction to engineering as a profession. I hope you read your assignment. Nagpapalit tayo naman. Should be in 50. There you are. Okay. So chapter 1 is introduction to the engineering profession. This is a very good question. Do I really want to study engineering? What is engineering and what do engineers do? What are some of the areas of specialization of engineering? So, you might want to ask yourself, do I really want to study engineering? Ito ba talaga yung gusto mo? It's very important for you to realize and understand the track or the path that you started or trying to take. It's because mamaya you'll be landing on jobs or you'll be doing things related to engineering, and if it's not in your heart, chances are you'll be having problems, particularly on well, getting on the day-to-day basis. Kasi kung hindi talaga engineering ang gusto mo, medyo mahirapan ka sa pag-aaral mo, hindi mo may appreciate yung mga bagay-bagay. Lalo sa mga topics mo, lalo kung pahirapan na. So, it's a really good start for you right now to think kung ito ba talaga yung gusto mo. What is engineering and what do engineers do? This is really broad topic. Okay. Well, basically and fundamentally, engineers build. Simple yun eh. May it be software, may it be hardware, may it be a machine, civil works, buildings, okay? Pag halimbawang sa civil works, meron tayong tinatawag na bridge engineer, specialize lang siya sa bridge. Meron din tayong tinatawag na software engineer, even information technology graduates or professionals. There are some positions and titles given to them as software engineers kasi they create softwares. Okay? So napakalaki, napakadami na pwedeng gawin ng engineer. What are some of the areas of specializations of engineering? Yun. So, nabanggit natin kanina, for example, sa civil engineering, meron tayong tinatawag na bridge engineer. Yung civil engineer na yun, focus or naka-specialize sa building ng bridge. For computer engineers, for example, meron din tayong tinatawag na specialization. So here we have a network track, the systems and network administration. So later on, you will be called as a systems engineer, or you'll be called a network engineer. So depende. So embedded naman, sa embedded systems track, I'm not really familiar in particular when it comes to it. Pero marami din siyang application and specialization. One particular application will be on the mechatronics side and the automation. So you could have IoT engineer, you have here the Internet of Things is under pa rin para siya. Network, pero may hybrid application ng embedded yun. You could also be called mechatronics engineer, pero it's a different part or specialization ngayon. It's a one full course called mechatronics engineering, Bachelor of Science. Ano pa ba? Automation engineer. How many different engineering disciplines are there? Kung isa-isayin ko, marami. But then, subjectively, gaya ng nasabi ko, uh, you could search case-to-case basis from country to country when it comes with professions or professional. So, maraming ba yun? Marami tayong pagpipilian. We have the mechanical, civil, electrical, computer, industrial, agricultural, dami. So, meron pa mga different tracks and majors yung mga yun. Do I want to become a mechanical engineer or should I pursue civil engineering? Napakagandang tanong yan. Maraming mga estudyante ang nagdadalawang isip. Maraming mga estudyante ang nagdadalawang isip kung ang gusto ba nilang track ganito o ganito. Honest to goodness, yung iba pumapasok sa ibang engineering course para lang mag-shift later on sa next semester. Masisira ngayon yung kano dun, yung diskarte mo dun dahil may maingay. Sorry. So going back, kung ano talaga yung gusto mo from the very beginning, yun na yung kunin mo para hindi masayang yung panahon mo. But if situation doesn't allow you, chances are you will be torn between two lovers mamaya kasi later on magugustuhan mo na isang track hanggang sa mamaya ito na lang. So it's all up to you. All engineering professions are okay naman, wala problema dun. Ang tanong lang talaga dyan mamaya will all boil down to this question do I really want to study engineering? Okay. Dahil lahat sila may fundamental disciplines and then mag-iwalay na lang yung mamaya sa specializations. Or would I be happy becoming an electrical engineer? So, you have to distinguish kung ano yung gusto mong engineering career. Nag-computer engineering ka, the question would be bakit ka nag-computer engineering? Yun ang usual sa interview So, excuse me. So, you have to think and feel kung bakit ka ba talaga nag-computer engineering. And as time passes by, pagdating mo na ng higher years, you will always go back to the reason bakit mo gusto mo nag-engineering. Kasi if you're not going to hold on to it, chances are magdadrop ka. Ayan. So, hindi nga ganun kadali ang engineering. Pero hindi rin naman ganun kahirap. So, nasa sa'yo na lang yun mamaya how are you going to convince yourself to push through, especially during the times na medyo hirap ka na. How would I know that I have picked the best field for me? You will be the one who will know it. At this stage of your studying, first year pa lang kayo I cannot say during my first year, when I was taking up BS in computer engineering I was still a student. I never had thought, or it didn't cross my mind na ito ba talaga yung gusto ko. Kasi from the very beginning, alam ko nun ito yung gusto ko. So, how will I know if I pick the best field for me? Maybe if you feel comfortable. Yan. Pag komportable ka dun sa ginagawa mo, wala kang pagsisisi. Tapos, miski mahirap, kahit paano you have the positive thought or positive thinking na kaya mo to o kaya kaya ko to, parang ganun. I never, modesty set aside, I never experienced yung pagsisisi during I was a student. Okay. Miski mahirap yung subject, sige lang wala namang problema kasi alam ko part ng curriculum to Siguro meron lang ano ba 'to, yung hindi naman pagsisisi pero parang kulang, parang gano'n. Kasi during our time, especially in my other subjects, medyo may shortcomings pagdating dun sa may instructor. Hindi niya na-deliver properly and it didn't meet my expectations. So, more on disappointed, not on thinking na ito ba yung best field for me. But however, honest to goodness, yung area na yon na may shortcoming yung instructors or yung subject or yung school is because of the maybe lack of the um, technical capability of whomsoever. Right now, dun yung nag excel ako. So, bakit ganun? Eh, wala naman ako natutunan at that time dun sa may subject na yun. So, it was a triggering parameter for me to self-study and dig deeper onto that subject. Up until the time that ngayon na nagtuturo ako, this is the specialization track that kumbaga doon ako nag-specialize despite na wala akong natutunan during college at that time. So, so yun. Will the demand for my area of specialization be high when I graduate and beyond that? Oh yes, yes, of course. Of course. So, gaya na nasabi natin last time, um, here, especially in the Systems and Network Administration track, na pa natin. Right now, if you could observe, dapat sa school na lang para ni-record tayo yun. Okay, will the demand from our area of specialization will be high when I graduate and beyond that? Yes, of course. Of course. Right now, boom na boom ang online learning. Ang internet, napaka-in-demand. So, those who are in the Systems and Network Administration track, you'll be in demand pagka-graduate ninyo. And this is not the needs of the need for the SNA specialization track dahil may pandemic. Nakasanayan na yan. And believe me, 4 to 5 years from now, maybe the online learning platform or this kind of flexible learning will be adapted all throughout the decade. Who knows, di ba? Even so, technology, matatanggal mo pa bang internet natin ngayon sa bloodstream ng tao? So, ganun yun. And compared to other specialization tracks, the SNA track, napaka-promising and much higher ang salary niya. Napaka-promising ang salary ng SNA track. So they go with 6 figures, minimum tayo ng 5 starting, and then as time passes by, you go with 6, even 7 figures in some cases. Okay, especially if you go abroad. So, here. The main objective of this chapter are to provide some answers to these other questions that you may have to introduce engineering professions and its various branches. So, ayun, na-discuss na natin yun. Engineering works all around you. Yeah. According to estimate census, we have the Bureau, and I can say populations in billions. Growth. Engineering as a profession when common traits to good engineers. Engineering to... ito na yung kanina. Ito na yung mga tanong na sinagot natin kanina. So here you could read other explanations. These are the explanations of Said Muavini. Sa akin yung explanations ko was very personal and practical based on my experience. Common traits of good engineers: problem solvers, blah 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 blah, written communications, yeah. Good problem solvers, of course, from the very beginning, mathematics ang fundamental ko ninyo eh. Fundamental subject ninyo, kaya good problem solver ka talaga. But in reality, you build kasi as an engineer. It means to say you're trying to solve a certain particular problem. So, for example, one problem is mabagal ang production natin in terms of a system or a certain assembly line. So, ano gagawin mo? I-solve mo yan, pabilisin mo yan using automation. Na? Um, may problema, halimbawa, sa natin, sa internet connection, distribution ng network connection natin. Dahil coming from the ISP, going down to your computers, kung halimbawa hindi maganda yung distribution niya. So, you have to solve it. Siguro, pwede kang gumamit ng network balancer o kaya mag-minimize ka ng bandwidth sa bawat linya ng network mo para makontrol mo yung flow ng traffic. Good engineers have a firm grasp of fundamental principles of engineering. Yes, of course. If you don't have a good fundamental, wala kang patutunguhan. Up until now, sa tagal ko na dito sa practice na to, I always go back to the fundamentals eh. Sometimes, yung napaka-komplikadong problem, nasasagot ng fundamental principles. Pag in-overshoot mo yung problema or thinking too much about the problem, go beyond, outside the box na sinasabi nila. Minsan, ganun lang pala kasi. So, napaka-importante na. Good engineers are analytical? Yes, of course. Good engineers have desire to be lifelong learners. Oh, yes. I think it all push through to all professionals. When you talk about lifelong learners kasi, hindi natatapos yung pag-aaral mo eh. Every now and then, merong new technology, new method. For example, sa teaching, BS education, true that the education system didn't change at all. Nandun pa rin yung recitation, nandun pa rin yung exam, nandun pa rin yung assignments, sit-works, and so on and so forth. Meron pa rin silang lesson plan, o kaya instructional materials. But, dahil yung sa may pandemic na to, nagkaroon na tayo ng online class, and the platform and the use of the technology has been hindi naman siya masabing prioritized, but it played a very very important role. So, kailangan mo pag-aralan ngayon yun. Ganun din sa engineers. Lalo na sa computer engineering. Every now and then, So, good engineers have a desire for lifelong learners, especially dito sa atin sa computer engineering. Dahil every now and then may bago eh. So, hindi mo masasabi na kung ano yung napag-akalan mo ngayon, okay na yun. Hindi ka dapat mag-fix dun. Dapat, kung may bago, aralin mo. Kaya ayaw mo ano, hindi. Kasi kung hindi ka mag-a-adapt dun sa may change, mapag-iiwanan ka, patay ka na. Diba? So, kahit sa ang field ng engineering, talagang ganun. Good engineering, regardless of their specialization, have a core knowledge that can be applied to many areas. Oh, yes. For example, for me, I am a computer engineering graduate, Pero maniwala ka o hindi, gumawa ako nag-double walling ako nung nag-expand yung isang area dito sa bahay, and then it needs a double walling and then replacement ng ceiling. Ako nang gumawa nun. And then, since computer engineering kasi may mga subjects tayo ng electrical, may subjects tayo ng mechanical, subjects din tayo ng civil. So, in terms of plumbing naman, ako din na nagkakabit ng tubig pag may extension kami, may mga repairs kami. Pagdating naman sa electrical, ako na din nag-wire nung linya ng bahay, nung nagkaroon kami ng replacement ng from old fuse box going to the new circuit breaker box. Pero, on other cases, some deeper part, for example, sa electrical na magtatap ng live wire galing doon sa may entrada, ibang pa na yun, ibang usapan na rin yun. However, the principles regarding fundamentals of engineering were applied and yeah, have core knowledge can be applied in many areas. Good engineers have written oral communications. Yes, napaka-importante nito. Hindi, I cannot accept the philosophy of engineering ako, okay lang na hindi ko marunong sa English o kaya sa written and oral communication skills. Hindi pwede ganun. Huwag ganun. Noon, oo, hindi ko pinapansin yung mga English subjects ko, pero maniwala ka, when I landed a job and I've been into managerial positions, when I became the department chairman, when I became the director, when I became those people who have designations, doon ko nakita yung importance nito eh. Especially nung I entered the teaching profession. Kasi if you're not good in written and oral communication, paano mo ma-express yung sarili mo on transferring your knowledge as an instructor? If you're a supervisor and you're not good at doing some letters, paano ka gagawa ng memo mo? Di ba kung grammar ka, nakakaya ka. Diba? Besides, kapag medyo bisor ka na, you're going to meet important people also. Managers coming from the different companies, directors, and so on and so forth. And you do not have a good oral communication skills, ang gagawin mo? You're going to speak on your native tongue. Okay, goodness gracious, good luck on landing that deal. Wala na, di ba? Good engineers have time management skills. Yeah. Kung minsan sakit natin yung nalilimutan natin yung oras o kaya hindi natin alam yung schedule na offset tayo o kaya na overshoot tayo. So you have to have, it's a must that time management. Else, sa dami ng gagawin mo, hindi ka magiging productive. Good engineers have good people skills. Oh, yes. Before we have a subject na management engineering in our curriculum, pero I think tinanggal na yata nila yun eh. Yours truly is a graduate of computer engineering and then my master's is in management engineering. So people skills is really important to be acquired, especially kapag may mga tao ka na, pag supervisor ka na, okay? Pag head ka na, something like that. Kasi kung hindi mo alam ang pag-usap sa tao, paano matatapos yung trabaho? Ganun din sa akin, pagiging instructor. Kung hindi ka marunong makipag-usap sa mga students mo, your students are not tools, but merely a thing. They are human beings. Okay? Engineers are required to write reports. Yes, kaya sinabi ko. That's why you have to be good in oral and written. Kasi written communication skills very important to do your reports. Hindi lang naman to basta drawing, hindi lang naman to bar ka o kaya hindi ganun eh. Minsan meron akong supervisor dati nun. Pag gumagawa ako ng reports sa kanya, dati nakakaisang page ako. Hanggang sa yung construction ng paragraph ko when I graduated my PhD, it improved in a way that I could say, kung dati nakakatatlong paragraph ako sa explanation, ngayon sapat na yung one paragraph in average of 45 sentences. So, something like that when you write your report. Kasi yung mga supervisors mo, they don't have the luxury of time to read. Okay? Ngayon, if you're not good in communication skills, you're written, particularly in sentence construction, kapag napakahaba, hindi niya nababasahin yan. Wala na. Palpak ka na. Para sa kanya. Or, imbis na basahin niya, pag-reporting ka niya orally. O mamili ka. So, dapat prepared ka doon. Okay? So, engineers are adept in using computers. Yes, lalo tayo computer engineers. Diba? That's why walang computer engineer na walang computer. No. I don't know how you're going to survive na hindi ka gumamit ng computer as a computer engineer. So you should be adept at using it. Good engineers actively participate in local and national discipline specific. Yes, they should. Kasi dito sa kung ano to, seminar workshops and meetings natin na to, dito ka makakuha ng update eh. Kung tamad ka sa sarili. But sometimes, for example, in my part, and again, modesty set aside, alhamdulillah, kung minsan mas update pa ako sa ibang seminars, workshop, and meetings. Kaya kung minsan, I'm being invited as the guest speaker on some meetings, workshops, and seminars. Kaya, mas maganda yung nagagaling sa iyo yung update eh. Ayun. So, engineers generally work in a team environment where they consult each other to solve complex problems. Yes. Kailangan mo ng team. Especially with your project management, for example, in the implementation of a certain project. Hindi mo naman kaya mag-isa eh. There's no such thing as you can do it all. So, even though ganun ka kagaling, kailangan mo pa rin ng opinion ng iba. Like, for example, okay ba ito? Maganda ba ito? Acceptable ba ito? Yung mga terms na yun, yung mga ginamit natin na okay, acceptable, maganda, these are subjective in a way. Pwedeng yung okay sa'yo, yung maganda sa'yo, yung acceptable sa'yo, hindi acceptable sa iba. So, kailangan mo ng consultation sa kanila. Also, especially kung hindi ka adept sa ibang technology, kailangan mo pa rin ng tulong ng iba. For example, magaling ka lang sa magaling ka sa, let's say, design, pero pagdating sa implementation, may problema ka. So, kailangan mo ng consultation ng ibang tao. So, ganun lang yun. Interest building teams as puzzles. Yeah. For almost all engineering jobs, a bachelor's degree in engineering is required. Yes, that's why you're here. You're studying. Salaries. Siguro pinakamagandang part na lang na pag-usapan natin for the salaries. Let's go here. Let's go to the job street. Job street is here. And then this is administrative assistant, sales coordinator. Let's talk for network engineer. Solutions engineer, infrastructure engineer, Sykes network engineer. Where's the salary? Nakita tayo the salary. Network engineer should be BS, computer science engineering graduate, most rated 14 at 6 knowledge. Yeah. Yours truly is a holder din naman ng mga certain certifications. AWS, yung mga yan. Wala dito yung salary. Hindi nila dinidisclose yung salary dito. Converge. Yeah, salaries are not posted here. But at least you can see here mamaya yung mga needed na requirements. Okay, the required. Let's go with the jobs, TV. Sa iba, oops, page error. Sa jobs, yeah. So, spawn natin dito. For the Singapore, let's go here, network. Oops. Ayan. So, Singapore is around, what, times 34, 35 sa fund. Infrastructure Network Engineer and SCD Northeast. Look at this one. So here we have a network engineer that is $5,000 to $6,000 per month. This one is in Singapore SG, so this is in Singaporean dollars. So if we're going to look for SGD to PHP, how much is that? So we have 37.39, and this one is 5,000 to 6,000. So how much is that? 5,000. That is 186,000 pesos per month. Ayaw mo pa ba yun? Payat pa ba yun? Diba? Dito sa may kabila, 6,000 to 8,500. Kaso medyo taas ng konti ang requirement kasi fluent in Japanese speaking, something like that. So 8,500. I'm sorry, 8,000. It's 317,000 pesos per month. Hindi na masama, di ba? So yun. Total of engineers. This is in US, so you gotta say the same here. Average salary, this is in years. So computer engineer in years is 61. Again, this is in US, so you cannot say the same here in this country. And this is around what? Kailan ba yung copyright nito? Kailan ba ginawa ito? The copyright is 2008. So the data here is medyo updated ng konti. So right now, I wouldn't say the same. Yeah. So again, this is for 2008. 2009 yan, pero ngayon 2019 na. Engineering disciplines, strategy sense, and so on and so forth. These are different organizations for we have the IEEE, we have the ICPEP, we have the PICE for civil engineering, we have the PSME for mechanical, IIEE for electrical, ano pa ba? For computer, we have the ICPEP Marami. What are some areas of engineering specialization? Ito na-discuss natin pa kanina. Accreditation Board of Engineering Technology. Yeah, the same din sa may organizations natin. For here, non-board pa rin tayo, so wala pa rin tayo exam sa may DRC. Pero sa lahat ng mga may board exam, they all undergo examinations under the Professional Regulations Commission. Sabi natin kanina, professional engineer, ito yung mga tinatawag natin post-exam nila after they graduated, after they took yung fundamental exams nila. So, for example, meron tayong tinatawag na professional electrical engineer. So, after nila maging electrical engineer, registered electrical engineer, maging professional electrical engineer din sila after they take some exams. Dito sa atin sa computer engineering, I think we have a certified computer engineer si Sir Rex ninyo. Tapos Naka-qualify yata si Ma'am Jedy ninyo for professional computer engineering under the ICPEP regulations. So, yun. And again, organization yung nag-approve doon, organizational body. They have some certain standards that you have to, minimum qualifications. You have the civil, electrical, mechanical, aerospace, chemical, manufacturing, this is petroleum engineering. Nuclear engineering, wala ito dito. Mining, meron. Materials, meron. Engineering technology, vision board. So these are the things. Okay. Professional and ethical social responsibilities. Hindi siya nabanggit doon kanina. Napaka-importante nun. Okay, so one good example under the ethical and professional responsibilities, when you try to develop a certain system, hindi lahat ng tama nakakabuti. May mga cases na ganun. So when you reach your professional ethics, dito may topic din tayo, may ethics tayo mamaya. Bibigyan ko kayo ng mga certain scenarios. So, merong nangyari. Isang knowledge forum, yung speaker doon, ang audience niya is mga tertiary students, mga college students. Tapos, just so happened that politically, they don't like the person. But the event was in an educational purpose. Okay? So, ano nangyari doon? So, hindi nila siya gusto. Nung siya na magsasalita, pinalitan nila yung mga pangalan nila na never again, parang ganun. Tapos, galit sa magnanakaw, parang ganun, isoli mo mga ganito. Imagine that. You are college student, nag-aaral ka, pero anong asal mo? Tama, okay. Tama, sa tingin mo, yung ginagawa mo is because of your freedom of expression. Pero, tama pa ba yun? So, when you talk about the term tama, it's very subjective one way or another, but you have to be objective. Hindi porket yung tama mo pwedeng hindi tama sa iba. Meron tayong common guidelines na pinag-uusapan. Meron tayong commonality. Meron tayong grounded rules. And if you try to apply fallacies or try to flex the laws, your ethical standards, so that it may adapt your own your own standard, yung mga parang adapt mo na mag-apply sa iyo yun, especially sa iyo, para maipalusot mo yung gusto mo, there are some damages, moral damages na mangyayari. Bayaan mo na yung moral damage dun sa tao pero yung damage in a sense na pag ito ay nakita at tinularan, lalo ng mga bata, okay lang pala ito. At ito yung dogma na hindi maganda. Dahil lang dyan sa freedom of expression na yan, yung lintik na freedom of expression, naaabuso. You know, I'm not going to specify several media, okay, that they use as a sangkalan itong freedom of expression na ay okay lang pala na mangutya ng tao, freedom of expression ito Pero have you ever thought about it? Let's go back, for example, yung mga komedyante, hindi ba pinagtitripan nila yung mga tao? They're making a joke out of a certain person. It's their job. Okay, walang problema. Yun yung tama. Pero sa iba na nakakakita doon, it's very amusing. Okay lang pala yung ganun. So you have to balance it. Okay? So yun yung mga natin mamaya pag-uusapan in terms of applications sa engineering discipline. Commitment to quality, timeliness, and continuous improvement ay explain natin yan. So summary, and I think that wraps up the entire chapter 1. So all you have to do is read them you have to understand them for. So, preparing for an engineering career. This will be discussed in our next video. Um, if you have some issues of concerns or questions, you may reply dun sa may reply button natin dun sa may Teams channel natin. Okay? With that, thank you for listening. Have a great day.